Disclaimer. Dreadful shadows taking no responsibilities for errors or omissions in the contents of the service. In no event shall dreadful shadows be liable for any special, direct, indirect, mental, physical, consequential, or incidental damages or any damages whatsoever, whether in an action of contract, negligence or other tort, arising out of or in connection with the use of the service or the contents of the service. Dreadful Shadows channel reserves the right to make additions, deletions, or modification to the contents on the service at any time without prior notice. Watch at your own risk.
A few years ago, I moved into a one-bedroom apartment in Melbourne, Australia. It was my first time living on my own. The apartment block had been built in the 1930s, and from the moment I stepped inside, there was an unsettling aura that surrounded the place. I'd been there for a few months when I came home from work one day and went into the bathroom. My heart pounded in my chest as I saw something strange, a wooden board, which had covered a hole in the ceiling that led to a small attic space, lay fractured in two pieces on the ground. The splintered wood seemed to whisper of an ancient secret within the walls. I examined the pieces. The board was an inch thick, and it would have taken the strength of a supernatural force to break it. Panic gripped me. Someone or something must have forcibly removed it. Dread washed over me as I thought of the possibilities. Who or what could be up there, watching me from the shadows? I mustered the courage to email pictures to the landlord, trying to sound nonchalant, but underneath was an undertone of annoyance, since she hadn't warned me about any strange occurrences in the apartment. Her reply was chilling. "Please call me as soon as you are able to." Her tone betrayed a sense of urgency and concern that sent shivers down my spine. When I called, she explained that her last two tenants had reported similar inexplicable events. The realization that I was not alone in this terrifying experience only intensified my fear. She promised to replace the broken board, but the feeling of being watched lingered. A month later, the haunting nightmare escalated. I woke up one night around 4 a.m., my body drenched in cold sweat, and goosebumps running down my arms like icy tendrils of fear. An oppressive silence hung in the air, making my heart race even faster. Then I heard it, a dragging sound, slow and deliberate, coming from above my bed. My mind tried to rationalize it, but the eerie sound was unlike anything I had ever heard. It was as if someone, or something, was dragging a heavy burden across the attic floor. My breath caught in my throat, paralyzed with terror. There was no way an animal could make that disturbing sound. The dragging continued for what felt like an eternity, each second crawling by with excruciating slowness. Finally, I mustered the courage to act, arming myself with a cricket bat, and forcing myself to investigate. As I made my way to the bathroom, my heart pounded like a drum in my chest. I flicked the light switch on, revealing the new board covering the hole. But the dread returned with a vengeance as I saw that the replacement board was also broken, split in two just like before. The horror of the situation reached new heights, and as if to mock me, I heard the sinister whispering once again, this time clearer and more distinct. The chilling sound of children's voices, repeating a haunting sentence in a sinister chant.
It's your turn. It's your turn.
Frightened and desperate for normalcy, I flooded the apartment with light, trying to chase away the darkness that seemed to envelop everything. The night dragged on, and as the clock struck 5 a.m., the darkness outside seemed impenetrable. Then, without warning, a fuse blew, plunging the apartment into a haunting darkness. Panic welled up inside me, but I wasn't alone in the terror. My pet cockatoo, Dexter, known for his calm demeanor, suddenly erupted into a chorus of terrified squawks and cries that sent chills down my spine. It was as if he could sense the malevolent presence lurking in the shadows. I clutched my car keys, my only hope of escape, and ran out to my car, seeking refuge from the horrors within. I waited in the safety of my car, the dawn taking its sweet time to break through the night. Only when I saw people walking their dogs did a sliver of reassurance creep back into my mind. Gathering what little courage remained, I returned to the apartment, only to find the front door open, an ominous invitation to whatever malevolence resided inside. Fear gnawing at my heart, I rushed to the kitchen to check on Dexter, praying he was unharmed. But my worst nightmare had come to life. My beloved pet was nowhere to be found in his cage. Panic engulfed me, and I searched every corner of the apartment, but he was gone. As I made my way to the bathroom once more, the sound of water splashing reached my ears. My heart sank as I discovered Dexter, half drowned in the toilet bowl. The sight was horrifying, and I pulled him out, cradling his lifeless body in my trembling hands. Tears streamed down my face as I mourned the loss of my faithful companion. Haunted by the terror of that night, I remained in that apartment for another 18 months, tormented by the eerie events that refused to let me escape their grip. The whispers continued, the broken boards were replaced time and again, but the malevolence remained. The death of Dexter weighed heavily on my soul, a constant reminder of the darkness that dwelled within those walls. Even after leaving that accursed place behind, the landlord's recent call reminded me that the horrors of that apartment would never truly be gone. Her new tenants had experienced similar torment, and I couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt for passing the malevolence on to others. Now, I live elsewhere, always looking over my shoulder, wondering if the sinister presence still lingers, waiting for its next victim. I can only hope that the new tenants find a way to break the curse that binds that apartment, for forget it, it's their problem now, and I dare not set foot in that haunted dwelling ever again.